I need to get in zoop mode, so let's press R, do Zooperuski, and then we're gonna hold this out. Oh, that was a mistake. Whoops. Shit. All right, let's just go with that for now. Now, what I want to do is we're gonna need to get power down here. So let's grab a power line from there, and we're gonna run it down this way as far as we can until we can't anymore. Game doesn't care if I run it through the cliff, but that's kind of jank. So we either... Yeah, let's just put it right about here. You know, I want to try and kind of run this in the way you would in a real life situation, because you wouldn't want the cable, you know, coming through the rock there, of course. I'm you know, the jury's still out too, by the way, you guys. I had mentioned in an earlier video that I was just going to let all of the platforms float, but I don't know. I might put some supports under. It's purely aesthetic. It's not necessary to do that, but I'm still trying to think if I should do that or not. Okay, so let's come over here. Now we've got that node down there, and that is a pure node. So why don't we do I have a miner in my inventory? Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's put the miner down first, and we're gonna flip it so that it's facing that direction. Kind of, I guess, sort of parallel with this cliff face. It's not super critical that we get that part of it right. So I think we're gonna just go with that. Okay. So we got the miner down there. Now let's grab this power connection, and if we don't put a power pole on the cliff here, it's gonna go through the cliff, which is gonna look jank. So we're not gonna do that. There we go. Okay, so now our miner is powered up, and because this is a miner, we don't have to set a recipe. It just knows what to do. All right, now let me look at something here. I kind of don't want to cut these big trees down here, so let me just manually clear some of this stuff out of the way, so just so we can kind of see our lines better. So we're going towards that splitter right there. This is what we're aiming for. And I like to make the conveyor lines from the nodes to the factory look reasonably nice too. They don't have to be, you know, quite as fancy schmancy. We're out of space. So let me see. What do we got in here? I'm just going to, man, I hate to waste stuff. Here, let me just go run and put these in the bio generator. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab ourselves an elevator, and we're going to raise it up to us and point it this way. So it's about level-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect, but again, you know, I'm just trying to make it look as good as we can. Let's get all this crap out of the way. There's Doggo. Still haven't looked up how to tame him yet. I haven't had time to mess with it. Okay, so we got to get from there to there. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run a line off of here down to us. Now, if I hold... Okay, I've noticed that the global grid, sometimes it works for this and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm hitting control and it's not doing anything now. But when I've tried... Okay, now it's working. Interesting. Maybe it's because... Well, it was actually trying to line it up with this other splitter is what it was doing. Is it lining it up with that? It's so hard to tell sometimes. It must It must be. Yeah, okay. So I think it is lining it up. Maybe it's just the way I was positioned before. You know, one way we can kind of tell is if we make sure that we're facing directly east on our compass, and then we kind of bring the orange arrow up. If it's pretty much right on the east, then we know it's pretty well lined up. So yeah, I think that's good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to... It stops... It seems like it stops snapping if you bring it too far, though, which is interesting. So it'll snap here, but if I have it here... Oh, okay, so it looks like it's a distance thing. Interesting. Okay, so that's fine. Now, we're going to click the mouse button once, but we're going to raise this up a little bit to there. And the reason I'm doing that is so we can still easily get underneath here if we have to walk around over here later on at some point in time. Okay. Now, we probably can't connect these two directly, but let's just see what happens. Yeah, it's too far away. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to try and do a similar thing. So if we get close enough and then hold control. Whoops, I accidentally canceled it. Okay, it doesn't look like the global grid's working for this at all, because maybe there's no foundations or something, would be my guess. So this one, what we're going to do is we're just going to take it as far as it'll go. So let's just go roughly guesstimate southwest, which is going to be there. Okay, so we're going to line it up on the southwest. Now, I could fix this by making sure that the miner itself is facing in a cardinal direction, but again, I think it's not necessary. So we're going to bring it here. We're going to click once, and then we're going to raise it up to about there. Okay, and then these two should connect. Just like that. Okay, so that doesn't look terrible. One thing we could maybe do, though, actually, is raise this up a little more so it's a little more level. So why don't we do that? Again, aesthetics is all this is really the only reason why I'm doing it is for aesthetics. It's just not super critical, but just so it looks good. Okay, so I think we had it up to here. Let's raise it up to there. And then go to here. See, that way it looks a little more level. It's still not perfectly level, but it's closer. And I could, you know, if I really wanted to get anal retentive about this, I could make the elevator itself go a little higher too, but I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to. I think we're going to go with this and be happy about it. Okay, cool. Now, let's get the other one taken care of. So we're going to go do that one now. I don't think... Is there a safe way for me to get down here? I don't think there is. Here's what I am going to do, though. What I am going to do... See, now I have to take into account that we're going to have miners down here for the iron, too. Because our iron production is all going to be kind of over in this area, ultimately. So what we might do is take a quick pause. Can I get down this way without killing myself? Yeah. Let's take a quick pause. We're going to... How much room do I have? Not a ton. We're going to pick these up. We don't need them any longer. Well, we do need them to create actual miners, but we don't need them to get ore by themselves like they've been doing. And remember, we can take the excess ore and we can put that in the awesome sink. Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 more miners on here, and we also have another iron mine over here, but I'm not gonna actually utilize that right away. At least I don't think I am. But what I do want to do is I am gonna want to merge the iron coming out of all of these onto a Mark II belt kind of setup. And so because we're going to do that, I want to make sure that we kind of know the position of these, so then we can make sure and put the concrete around it. So this is facing west, so I think that one's going to be west, and that one's going to be west too. But we're not going to do anything with these today. I'm just kind of putting them in place, so again, we can work around it. All right, so what we have to do then is probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the conveyor line up to around here-ish, I guess, and then bring it up to the cliff there. Okay. So, to make this work the way that I want it to, I'm going to put down a conveyor pull right on the edge of here. Make sure we're facing north directly, and we're going to stick this thing up in the air. Let's stick it up as high as it'll go in the air. Okay. Now, let's go over here. It's time for us to pick all of this business up. So you are done. You are done. And I'm going to leave this down here for the moment just so we have a place to store some extra stuff that I'll come back for later. Got a whole bunch of plates. Okay, that's good enough. Let's get rid of that. And the power, I'm going to neaten up the power a little bit too, but I'm not going to do that right now. So let's just leave the power the way that it currently is. All right, so now what we're going to do here is okay, I know what I'm going to do. Let's go up here. We're going to actually build a little platform for the conveyor belt, because it's not going to be able to reach over there in one section, and you can't just have it floating in midair like you can with the foundations. So let's come up here. I've already positioned the miner here so that it is it's facing directly to the west. So it's facing perfectly to the west right now. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to get our foundations out, and we're going to hold down control and get this perfectly lined up to the global. And actually, hold on a second. Let's use the skinny foundations for this. So we're going to go 9, but I'm going to tap E to get the skinny one. Okay, hold control, get it lined up to the global. I cannot tell you guys how much I love that. That is so awesome. Now, oh, wait a second, though. Yeah, the global's facing due west. We know it is. This one actually is off a little bit, but I don't think we can do much about that. I almost wonder if we shouldn't even angle it a little bit more than what it is. So let's look at that. So we're going to go miner here. So the foundation's there. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Okay. I think I want to do it that way. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go, we're going to select this. Do I still have the skinny one? I do not. Okay, tap E. There we go. And, I need to get in zoop mode, so let's press R, do Zooperuski. And then we're going to hold this out. Oh, that was a mistake. Whoops. Shit. Oh, no. Not good. All right. Our first and hopefully our last death of the series. Ah, crap. Now we got to figure out how to get down there. Wait, yeah. We got to figure out how to get back down there and get all of our stuff. That sucks. That was not what I meant to do. Son of a bitch. Okay. Let's assess the situation here. We know we can jump here and here and here. I'm not even sure how we get down in that canyon. Okay, looks like there might be a bit of a way down there. Let's go look over here. Looks like when we revive, we only have 3 hearts too. So, pouring salt on an open wound and all that. Okay, we can come down to this thing. Here, I'm going to need to grab some concrete and plates so that I can build ramps if I need to, which I probably will. Okay, so let's grab a couple stacks concrete, couple stacks plates. That's a good thing I put that stuff in there, huh? Alright, so we can come down to here. Oh, look at that! Blue power slug. What do you know? Okay, so is there a way... What if we cross over to that thing? Okay. So what we're gonna do is... Let's put that foundation there. And let's go grab a ramp. And zoop it. Oh, we're not in zoop mode anymore? Now we are. Alright, we're gonna have to go back to here. Put that there. Now I'll go back to... See, if I tap E, it just stays on the foundations. It doesn't do the ramps. Okay, so let's go to the ramp. Now turn it this way. Now zoop it up to there. And then we can just foundation to here. Okay. And we might even just leave this here, too, as a way to get down. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Yowzers. Can I... Well, let's at least put that there. Because it tried to push me off. Okay, what's on the other side of here? I don't know if we can stand on top of those things or not. If they have collision. I have no idea. Okay, well, let's go ahead and come over here and see if we can... I don't know if we can zoop ramps downward. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we can. Here's the thing that's dangerous about zooping is you have to remember to start building before you start walking. And I know that sounds obvious, but for some reason it's not been... I see it there, and then I seem to think I can go ahead and start walking, which obviously is not safe. Okay, so we'll come down to here. I think what we should do is change this one to a regular platform. And then we're going to zoop a ramp down this way. Oops. Oh, cut it out. I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay. Turn it this way and then zoop it down as far as it'll go. Don't step out onto it until it starts to build. Oh, good. That gets us down. All right. I don't know how dangerous it is down here. And we don't have our zapper, so we're going to have to be really careful getting back. Our stuff's just right there, though, so... Crazy, man. Okay. Yeah, let's just get our stuff, and hopefully there's nothing hostile down here that wants to eat us. Lots of exploration in our future, guys. Lots of exploration. Okay. Let's put this back down here. And we'll put the chainsaw in there, too. While we're down here. Nah, you know what? Let's not screw with this right now. We will definitely be doing some exploration, but I want to get our concrete production line finished. So let's head on back up. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to stand here and see if we can zoop. Can we? Yeah, we can get all the way over there. Okay, so let's change to a skinny one. And we're going to just zoop out to... Oh. That's interesting. Can I stand in front of this? Okay, we're going to zoop out to about here, I think. Now, if we look directly north, I think we might have gone one too far, which is fine. Yeah, that's actually really good. Okay. And we'll just take that one down. Okay. Let's actually take this back down. What we're going to do instead is we're going to zoop all the way to the cliff. Okay, so let's press E, and let's just zoop that all the way to... yeah, right about there is good. Now it is just kind of nipping our miner there a little bit, but the game's letting me do it, so we're just going to pretend that's butted right up against there, and I don't think that's a cylinder that moves up and down, is it? Not that it really matters, but you know. No, that's stationary. Okay, so yeah, I think we can just barely get away with this. Or, I mean, we could just hold it one more out. Yeah, what the hell? Let's just hold it one more out. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to reattach this end one here. And then we're going to hold control and remove all of those. And that one too. Okay. Now let's just zoop these all the way over. Now, that's all the farther we can... There is a limit on how many foundations you can zoop. It's not touching that one now, is it? No. We're clearing it. Okay. And again, that's why I wanted to kind of put those in place first. Okay, I think that'll work, and then we can just do an elevator up from there. Now, let's go back this way. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect a conveyor line from here right to the center of this guy, and then we're going to just... oh, it's going to square up for us. Okay, good. Yeah, we'll just put it right in the middle. There we go. Okay. What we might actually end up doing for this, too, is we might run the power lines along the conveyor bridge, which is a common thing for people to do, and it's nice and neat when you do it that way. Okay, so we're going to come to here. We're going to make sure this is in the center. Now, this time, we're going to use the mouse wheel to make our 90, which is just another way you can do it. Oh, wait, no, my bad. That doesn't work because what it does is it throws the conveyor off. So yeah, we can't do that. Never mind. Pretend that didn't happen. So we're going to have to use our other little trick here. So we want this to be straight. We want it to come right to the center of here, and then we got to bump it back too. There we go. Now it'll become a perfect 90-degree angle coming this way. Another thing you can do too sometimes if you want to is you can run these along the side instead of down the center. But we won't really be taking like any vehicles up here, so we can just walk it. Okay, so we got a nice clean 90-degree thingy-madoodle there. All right, now let's attach. No, I don't want a conveyor pipe. I want the belt. Oh, when I do that, it does the belt. Okay, so let's just do 3. And we're going to bring this down the center again, just like before. As far as it'll go. We'll take it to there. And then, now, I have to consider clearance here. I think what we'll do is we'll bring this to the edge of here. All right, cool. Now let's do this. Can I get up here from here? Not quite, huh? Okay, so let's just do this then. I'll make a better access down to those later. I just needed to get up here is all. I didn't want to run all the way back around. So yeah, we'll make an access down to here that looks good. And you know, because we're on the global grid, we should be able to line it up nicely. But I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect an elevator here. And turn it this way, and then raise it up. And we're going to kind of just guesstimate that it's on the same level with this. And if it isn't, we'll adjust, just so it looks good. Well, actually, no, I got another idea. Let's do this. Let's run this out to here. Now, we want to face north and make sure we're sort of more or less line. Oh, actually, you know what? The global grid should do that. Right? Is it going to give us a line to the left to line up to that? Oh, it's not. Oh, that kind of sucks. Okay. Well, then, that being the case, let's try something else. Let's run a line down to here. And oh, it's lining up with that one. That's good. Yeah, because that's the first one. It's not lining, doesn't seem to be snapping to itself though. So we're going to just make sure we're pointing north and try and eyeball this as best as we can. All right, now let's just hold this back a little bit. It's not really behaving a whole lot there. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to try this. I don't think that's a perfect 90 degree, but you know what? No, it's not. Right, here, let's try something else real quick. What if we run off of here now. And see, now it is. Okay. So if we're still going to have to push it back a couple of clicks, which we can't really do, but we can get it close. Or not. Ah, shit. Okay. If we hold it back even a little further, maybe so it's kind of beside this fern. Let's try that. Again, this is all just aesthetic stuff. It's not critical that we do this. But, again, we want to try and make it look as nice as we can. Okay, so this time we want it to be, we figured by the fern. Let's snap it in place there. Raise it up as high as it'll go. And let's see what this looks like. Okay, we didn't come quite far enough that time. Let's try it one more time. If there's a better way to do this, guys, I'm all ears. Aside from, setting up a whole bunch of splitters all the way out here to line them up that way, which I don't really want to do. Especially for out here, because this isn't even on the factory floor. But yeah, let me know if there's any good tips and tricks for this. Okay, we're going to be a little beyond the fern here this time. Let's try this one. Take it all the way up. It's not perfect. It's really close, but it's not perfect. I think actually the problem might be that this one's not fully straight, because remember I did have to eyeball that. What if we do this actually? Here, I got another idea. What if we pull all this down and now run from here to here? There we go. Now we're farming with gas. Woot! Okay, that's looking pretty sexy. Looking pretty sexy. I mean, if I really wanted to mess with this, I could probably pull this down further and do it here. But you know what? That's enough. We're good. That's not... You can overdo it, right? You can overdo it. We're good. Okay, so the final thing we want to discuss... Well, first of all, let's make sure everything's working. Okay, so... Do we have product... Okay, we have no product moving through here. It's probably because it's just not ready yet. Yeah, it hasn't made it there yet. Okay, it's starting to come down there. So these constructors should all be going at it, and they are. Perfect, okay? As soon as this product gets to this first constructor, it should start up. So this splitter is taking it in, and then it's putting half of it. Okay, so that turned green, and this should turn green momentarily. Beautiful. All right, now both of these guys should be outputting concrete. Can we see it up there on the... Yep. Concrete's coming out of there. Concrete's coming out of there. And then it should all... It's all being merged from both these three and these two. Going up the elevator and then zigzagging down, and look at that. We already have a full stack of concrete in here. It's a beautiful thing. Let's put a couple more in here too. We'll keep one in our inventory. Okay, I'm just going to throw this extra limestone in the awesome sink. It's just going to be the easiest way to deal with it. So throw all that in there. Let's put the flowers in there too, and I think we want to keep everything else. All right, guys. It is actually the next day in real life for me, and I have edited all the footage of this episode up to this point. And while I was doing that, I noticed several things that I would like to change, and I figured I would just tack those changes on to the end of this episode. And so, to try and avoid this episode from becoming too terribly long, I mean, it's already so long I had to split it up, as you guys know by now. We're going to kind of do this as quickly as possible. All right, so the first thing is, I was looking at this when I was doing the editing, and I noticed that I don't actually need to have this belt come all the way out here. All we have to do is take this splitter, put it up here, and make sure the input is facing to the right, and then we can just put a belt in here and make it just a little bit cleaner. Okay, so that's the first thing. Next thing is, I realized when we had put up the Awesome Sink that we forgot to put the Awesome Shop up. In order for me to do that, though, I'm going to need to make some screws, so let me do that really quick, and then we'll get the Awesome Shop up and take a quick look at it. Okay, I also want to change a couple things here, too. So we're going to take our MAM, and we're going to just push it back a little bit, just so things are nice and neat and lined up. So I want it right in the center here, and yeah, right there's good. Okay. We're going to take the machine shop and also push it back one little notch here. So that is production equipment machine shop. We want it back just one thing there. So these don't exactly line up because this will either stick out or it'll be too far back, but that's as lined up as we can get the fronts of those, and it looks okay. And now let's do the Awesome Shop. So the Awesome Shop is going to be a special building. We're going to put that right in the center here and push it back. Let's see. We want it, yeah, we want it right there and then right in the center. And that's lined up and that looks good. Okay, cool. Now, if we go into the Awesome Shop, there's all kinds of cool stuff that we can purchase in here for the coupons that come out of the Awesome Sink. So this is the architecture tab, and there's rails and ladders and catwalks and pillars and barriers and roofs and all kinds of cool stuff. Different walls that we can play with, conveyor walls, gates, door walls, etc. Attachments, real useful, like conveyor attachments and power attachments for the wall. The lift hole is just amazing because what this allows us to do is run a conveyor right up through a floor, but it creates an opening for it. So we'll be making use of that. There's hyper tubes, which is a way for us to travel quickly across large factories. We'll look at all that stuff as we go along. Different types of fancy foundations. I don't know if you guys remember, but the other day I was looking for a way to invert the ramp, but they actually have a piece for that right here. So we'll be getting that. Fix-it stuff. Most of this is bells and whistles except for the factory cart. Super useful. We're going to be getting that. Allows us to move around our factory very quickly. A couple different types of organization box. One for medical and one for hazard, which I believe that's new. I don't think that was an update for. Concrete and asphalt foundation material for making roads and stuff. Really cool new stuff. The coffee cup and the beacon, of course, that's been in the game for quite some time. And then you can also just buy certain parts that if you want to, for biomass in here. I don't know exactly why you would spend coupons on something like biomass, but I guess you get 200 of it. Maybe if you just need it quickly and you don't want to bother being, to make it or something. But anyways, it is an option. So very cool with the Awesome Shop. Okay, we got that done. Again, I'm going to try and move this along really quickly with all these changes just because of the fact that I don't want this episode to go super, super long and have to split it up again. All right, now we're going to make some changes over here too. So what there's a couple things. First of all, this bridge that we made, although it lines up with our factory floor laterally speaking, it doesn't line up with it vertically speaking. So we're going to have to redo this, and the way we're going to redo it is we're going to start the floor from here over to there rather from over there to over to here. And we're going to do a couple other things too. I had talked about building an access down there. We're going to accomplish that. We're going to change or put our conveyor belt off to the side and run our power neatly down there too. So we got a lot of stuff to do, so let's get on it. All of this has to come out for now. I'm just going to leave that up there for the time being, not too worried about it. Now let's stand here without falling off, hold down control, and see if we can select this whole area here all the way over to, looks like that's all the further it's going to let me go. Dismantle limit. Okay, I must be too far away or something. Let's go get those other couple of pieces out of there. Okay, so we're going to take that away. I'm going to take just these 3 away for the moment. So we still have, you know, our little guide there. Okay, cool. Now, let's come over this way. And we're going to run starting here. We're going to run a couple of blocks out this way. So let's get here. And we're in default mode. So let's get into Zoop mode here. And I think we want to go 2 out this way. Let me see. No, I think we want to go 3. So let's do 1 more of these. Whoops. I'm going to run 1 into the ground there just temporarily. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to zoop down with some ramps. So let's grab foundations and the 4-meter ramps, and we're going to zoop down, I think, to there. We'll have to determine if that's actually where we're going. And we still have clearance here, so we're good to go on that. Now, I think that... You know what I wish the game had is I wish it had a level, like a little meter, so when we're looking up and down it would tell us if we were level or not. But as far as I know, there's nothing like that. So this kind of appears to be the right spot. So I think we went down maybe 3 too far. So let's pick these back up. And then we're going to get the 4-meter foundation. We're going to tap E to make the 1 meter. And then we're going to zoop this out. Yeah, that looks right. To there. It's just going to be a smidge higher than it was when we put it down. And that's here again so that it's perfectly lined up with our factory floor. So yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind about the global grid. As far as I can tell, there's no way to make it work with heights. It only seems to work laterally, I think, unless I'm missing something, which if I am, just certainly let me know in the comments on that. Okay, so let's zoop to there, I think. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to get rid of this, this, and this. Actually, we're going to get rid of all of this, even the miner, because we're going to reset the miner too. Okay, so we're going to go 9, and we're going to go E, and zoop to there. And then this last one is going to be a 4-meter block, so it touches the ground. Okay, cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to replace the miner, and we're going to have it actually facing directly west. So let's go here, go production, grab the miner. Nope, don't cancel it. Okay, and we're going to turn it this way so it is facing west, and that should be right exactly west. Come up here, and then we're just going to attach a conveyor here, and we're going to run it right up to there. We're going to use the mouse wheel to make it straight, and looks like that's as far back as we can go with it. All right, now let's run back here. Now I had mentioned or shown earlier when I was trying to make this 90 degree that it didn't work with the mouse wheel and I had to push it back, but that's actually not true. It does work with the mouse wheel. I was just not doing it correctly. So what I'm going to do is connect this. We're going to come all the way to the edge here. And so what I did was I left it there and I did the mouse wheel, which pushed it out. But actually all we have to do is then just come here 2 notches this way. And that now keeps it straight. And gives us a nice 90 degree angle, and it's one less step than the older method. So we can see that starting, you know, from here, that it's nice and straight, and we have a nice 90 degree angle. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to tap into this and run it down the side this time, because I had also talked about that, and the more I thought about it, the more it made sense to do this, so we actually have more room to maneuver down here if we need to at some point. So we'll take that out as far as it'll go. We're going to do the same thing over here. Bring this down to the edge of this right there. Okay, and then we're going to bring this up to the edge of here. Like so. And now we're going to attach a conveyor belt here. And we're going to have it go up one level. Turn this way. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to redo this here. Let's get rid of that stuff. And we're going to run the conveyor belt from here down to here. We're going to use control so it's lined up. Actually, I think let's leave that bush there because we might need to use it for like a marker. Okay, so that's lined up. Now let's bring it all the way back here till it lines up with the other one. But we're going to have to go back a little bit to get a perfect 90. So I'm going to set this up so it's right at the very base of that bush and right on the green line. And let's put it up as high as it'll go. And let's see if that gives us a perfect 90 into here. Or a very close to perfect 90. You know what? That's good enough. I like it. It's probably not absolutely 110,000% perfect, but I think it's good enough. All right, cool. Let's go back over here. I think I'll leave this here for now, just so it's an access. But as I showed you in the Awesome Shop, we can purchase railings with our coupons, and so we will put railings around here later on, so we don't accidentally fall off. We did that once, and we don't want to do it again. Okay. All right. So we got a nice, neat conveyor belt set up. Coming back over to here, we're going to go ahead and do the power now too, because it's not going to take that long, and it's going to look really nice when it's set up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to run a power line off of here all the way to the edge of this corner here, like so. And then we're going to run, and we could also, we can also do this too. Let's get rid of this line. And we'll just run a power connector off of here down to there. Okay. I'm thinking about redoing this too, but let's not worry about that quite yet. Not quite yet. All right, so now let's run a power line from here. We're going to take it all the way to the far corner of here and put it right on the intersection. And then we're going to run another line from here to this intersection. And then a line from here to this intersection. And then let's see if we can get all the way down to the corner here without having to put one in the middle. We'll see if it's going to reach. It's going to be right on the limit, I think. Can we get it right here? Oh, it's going to work. Okay, cool. Nice. Very nice. And then we're going to run a power line to the very end of our platform. Put it right on the corner. And then into our miner. And the miner starts up. Hot damn. That's looking good, you guys. Looking good. So one thing about this game, and those of you who have played it for a while know this, there's 100 different ways to do stuff, right? And there's, I'm not the kind of person that's going to say there's only one right way to do it. There's several right ways to do it. But I think I will say that, you can definitely very easily make a spaghetti mess, right? And so in my mind, the right way to do it is, there's different alternate ways you can do it, but you still, this game is part of what this game is about is making stuff look good, right? And making everything line up, and aesthetics is very important in this game. So although there's, many different alternate ways to do things, ultimately, in my opinion, you still want it to look neat at the end of the day, right? And so the thing is as you're going along, you don't always see stuff, right? You see a certain way or maybe a couple different ways, so you do it. But then later on, you go, oh, you know what? I could actually do this way instead, and I think it'll be better. So that's kind of what's going on here. All right, so I'm trying to decide if I want to tack on one more change over here. I think we're going to do it. So I can actually use the global grid to make all of this look a little neater too. And I think we're going to do that. So let's go ahead and take all of this crap back down. Get all the poles, all the stuff, and let's remove it. And we're going to start this over. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go down to our drill here. And we're going to take this away. And I do want the drill to be going in, facing east, directly east. Actually, do I want it? We could have it facing directly south now that I think about it. It should still work. Yeah, let's have it face directly south. Okay. Now, we can face south. Okay. And actually it's facing north, or the output I should say is facing north. So it's on the cardinal direction. And the reason for that is because our input up at the factory, those are facing west. So we're trying to accomplish a nice 90-degree setup here, if that wasn't already obvious. All right, guys. I had to do another thinking session here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go. We're going to copy this, and we're going to go into Zoop mode again. And I'm going to run this all the way out here, just temporarily, because I want to make sure that these are all the same height. So it looks like we need to come up. Let's go right to here. Yeah, that's where we actually need to be. Okay. So let's get rid of this and this. We got a monster down there. Now, we're going to go into... vertical mode, and we're going to just sink that down to there. I want it to be both laterally straight and vertically straight. And in order to do that, we're going to have to keep we're going to have to keep foundations at the risers. That's really what it boils down to. Okay. So now if we bring this out as far as it'll go. So let's just put it right in the center of this riser. 1, 2, 3. Let's try 3 and see if that's level. Yep, 3 is what we want. Okay, good. Now we can get rid of the rest of these. Why don't we bring it to here? 1, 2, 3. This might actually work. Okay, now the question is that the right level there? That's going to be a little trickier to tell. But if we run it to here, do we have a perfect 90? Nah, it should be coming to the edge of here. It almost worked out. It almost worked out. Okay. Let's pull that back. Now, here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to run this to here, because we know that's straight. Okay, and that lines up with there. And so now all we have to do is just go back to 1, 2, 3. And now we got our nice little 90 there. Beautiful. And we know that it's level. Well, yeah, it's not level. The elevator's going to have to come up a little bit. Okay, I think that's too high. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the mountain in the background kind of as a guide rather than trying to count a million of those little marker thingamadoodles. So let's remove this again. So right now, if we stand right here, the top of the elevator is kind of right at those trees way off in the distance. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down 1 notch from there. Okay, so this is where it was before. Let's bring it down 1 notch. Okay, let's go over here and see if it looks level. I think it's still slanted, so we're going to have to bring it down one more notch, and then we should be golden. Just using a landscape to try and figure this out. Okay, at the trees, one notch down, two notches down. And again, if you guys know of a better way to do this, let me know in the tips, or I'm sorry, in the comments. That looks pretty good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our power for over here. So in keeping with the spirit of nice, straight, beautiful lines, we want to set up a power pole right here on this intersection. Let's try that again. Right there. Okay, and then we'll run from here to here. And then from here to here. Okay. And then we'll run our first line over to here. Is this going to bother me? I think it's going to bother me. Shit. Oh, man. Okay. Let's get it in so it's not hanging out. If there was an intersection here, then we would do it. It's not going to be super duper super straight, but close enough. Okay. And let's fix this one too. Lights green, lights green. That's better. That's better. Now, you know, we've got those new pillars in the awesome shop. And we also, you know, have the multi-layer conveyor riser thingamadoodles too, which we could put in here instead of these. But I like this for now. I think we're going to just keep it the way it is for now. And yeah, this looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. So yeah, with a little bit of extra effort, some changes after, you know, thinking about it, seeing it in action, I think we made some really nice improvements to our concrete production. Things look nice and neat. Everything's straight and mostly level. All at nice, beautiful 90-degree angles. And I love it. To talk about in this video is efficiency of our factories and why it's important, okay? So here's the situation. Each of our miners are currently capable of outputting 120 product per minute. However, they're only actually working at 50% efficiency because of the fact that the belts, the Mark I belts, can only transport 60 product per minute, okay? So what we need to do to get the miners running at 100% efficiency is we need to upgrade our conveyor lines to Mark II. I have the ability to do that. I've learned the milestone, but I don't have the product yet to do it. I need to make a whole bunch of reinforced plates. So we are going to be setting up a reinforced plate production line in upcoming episodes. So until that time comes, we're restricted to only 60 product per minute because of the belts themselves, not because of the miners, okay? Once we get that done, however, and we upgrade our belts, feeding everything into our factory to Mark II, then we're going to have a total of 240 product per minute coming into our factory. Now, we have 5 constructors that we put down, and each constructor can process by default 45 product per minute. Okay, so 45 times 5 is 225. But when this is upgraded to Mark II, we're going to be inputting 240. So we're basically 15 product shy of being able to handle that capacity at 100% efficiency. The way we're going to deal with that is we're going to come into each one of our constructors and we're going to put in a power shard here, which takes a blue slug. It requires a blue slug, and we make this in the crafting bench. Or we can set up constructors to make them too later on. And then we're gonna overclock this. We're gonna bump this up just a little bit so that the target production rate, or sorry, not the target production rate, but the input rate is 48 per minute. because we have we have 5 constructors. So if we bump all 5 of those up by 3, that's 3 times 5 is 15, and that will then bring up the factory itself will then be able to handle basically 240 product per minute. Okay, but we're not right. We can't do that yet. There's no point in doing that yet because of the fact that we don't have our Mark II belt yet. So we're basically running it because of the belts at half the capacity. So there's something we can do until that time comes to make the factory a little more energy efficient. Now, it really doesn't matter so much at this point because we still have lots of power. But, you know, as we add more stuff to the factory, it's going to become more and more important. So right now our maximum power that we could potentially draw if everything's running at 100% all the time is 114 megawatts. We have 360 to play with. So we're still okay, but we want to be mindful of power consumption because, you know, the bigger your factory gets, the more you add to it, the more power you use. And, you know, wasting power can start to become an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to each miner and we're going to underclock those miners so that they're only producing half of what they're capable of. And in doing that, they're also going to consume half of the power for now. And this is only temporary until we get the Mark II belts. Okay, so we're going to come into this guy. So notice right now that it's at 100% and it's drawing 5 megawatts of power. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bump this down to 50%, like so. Now it's at 60 parts per minute and it's only drawing 1.6. So we actually cut the power down by more than half by doing this. And now the miners will be able to keep up, or rather the belts, I should say, will be able to keep up with the miners. And we've made our power much more efficient by doing that. And so what I'm going to do, and you'll see that the product is still back to back on here, because, you know, it's at 60 parts per minute or 60 product per minute. And it didn't change anything at all up there in terms of what we're currently able to produce. What it did do, though, is it reduced our power consumption because there's no point in wasting power. Again, it doesn't matter so much right now because we have plenty of extra power, but it will matter later on. So I'm going to run down to the other miner and do the same exact thing. I'm going to underclock it so it's only running at 50%, and then our factory will be as efficient as it possibly can be at this time until we get the Mark II belts in. And once we get the Mark II belts in, then I'll bump the miners back up to 100% and overclock the 5 constructors by 3 product per minute, adding 3 more product per minute, and then we'll have 100% efficient factory. But guys, this episode has gone for a very long time. It's been a great episode. We really accomplished a lot. But yeah, it has definitely been a long episode. So I'm going to let you guys go here. And then in the next episode, we will probably get started on our copper production and get that done and then get to the iron after that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment and share out the video. And we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.